A few weeks ago, you may have seen this video by Sven. It showcased a prison, one-upping the famous prison of the Dream SMP called Pandora's Vault. In Sven's video, he says how Pandora's Vault could be beaten in a few different ways, and that he had built a better prison. This prison was named Poseidon's Vault, and it was proclaimed inescapable, and to many, it truly seemed inescapable. You see, Sven had covered for seemingly every aspect of an escape. Killing the guard to get out, killing yourself to get out, using an ender pearl stasis chamber to get out, building a nether portal and escaping through the nether, using chorus fruit, breaking your way out of it with your fist, and sneaking your way out. But out of everything that Sven had covered, there's one thing he didn't account for. Me. Poseidon's Vault. It's a mammoth of a task. For the prisoner to escape, but also for Sven to have built, the entire thing is surrounded by a 9-block thick wall of obsidian, lava, and water, making breaking in or out nearly impossible. The only way in is through the main gate, or should I say, the main portal. It's controlled by the guard. When it turns on, you go through, and then you go through it once again to get to the main lobby area. Here you have to put your items in a shulker box and send it deep into the prison. Then you must be killed to make sure that you didn't hide any items, and if you did, they will be given to the main guard through a hopper system. Once you're clear, the main guard will send over a flying machine to take you over to him. He will then lock you in a second bedroom, kill you once again, and then you go through this long tunnel, to which you sleep in another bed, and then once you leave the bed, you're in the cell. Now this prison isn't called escapable for nothing. It is extremely protected. There's so many measures taken to make sure that the prisoner has no chance of escaping. For instance, the walls are made from infinitely regenerating cobblestone, so even if you manage to break one with your fist, it will be replaced within 1 second. Oh yeah, and there's Elder Guardians in the walls, which gives you Mining Fatigue 3, and you're underwater. There's a nearby conduit so that you don't drown. All of this adds up, and in the end, it'll take you 4 hours to mine 1 block of cobblestone. And if you manage to break 1 cobblestone, even if it gets replaced back, 1 to 4 guards will be immediately teleported to the guard room just outside of the cell. A chat message will read that the prisoner is escaping, and a note block alarm will go off. And on top of this, if the guard wants to kill you remotely, they can just turn off the conduit with the flip of a switch. Not only this, but the guards can, for 1 second, glitch through the floor to see what the prisoner is doing. And this is just the main control room. There's another one which can be accessed by a secret key card of which can only be signed by the guard and can't have any changed tags. That will take you to a room where you have double chests full of gear and an armor plus potion equipped stations. With all of this, you would think that it would be nigh impossible to escape this prison, or that it would take a small army to fight their way in to get you out. But what if I told you that I found a way to get out, alone? Yes, it's true that you could use a visitor to break you out of this vast prison. Probably every other solution to breaking out of this place uses one, and I do admit that there are some very good ways that a visitor could break you out, such as, the visitor can just pearl to the guard door, block clutch, and then break the glass and walk/pearl inside to kill the guard. Or the fact that they could just pearl up this death trap, block clutch in this little corner of the roof, pearl in between the hoppers, and then go down this long secret tunnel that's there for some reason, that leads you right into the guard's second control room that has all the OP gear and weapons. Or even that you could technically mine in from the top or crawl and mine through the redstone vents from the outside gate, even though it would take a few weeks. But those are all options for people who have a partner or two. And as we all know, I don't have any friends. And as we all know, I don't have anyone to rescue me, so I'm going to have to find a way to do it myself. Now I will be the first to admit, this approach relies a little bit on human error on the guard's part. They need to be kinda dumb, but these are Minecraft players we're dealing with here, so don't give them too much credit. Also, it's really easy to escape this if the difficulty is on hard mode, but since in the notes of the map Sven said that the game mode is supposed to be easy, then I'm gonna have to figure out a way to get out without killing myself. Alright, this is the prison. If I'm gonna be detained here in the future, I'm gonna need a way out. The first thing I'm gonna need to do is find the nether portal hub to the prison, and then a little bit away, I'm gonna make my own portal. Next, I fill my ender chest with a lot of OP gear, milk, gapples, and weapons. Anything and everything that could be useful if I'm being chased, but at the very least I'm gonna need a good axe. Then I dug a tunnel under the barrel in the main hub, and made it lead out to the portal. This will be needed because you can't actually escape through the nether portal back to the outside portal without the guard's help, so I had to make my own. Now it's time to go into the prison itself. I'm going to take with me a sign, an ender pearl, and a few cobwebs. When the guard asks me to put my items in the shulker box, I'm not going to actually put anything in, but when I'm over here I'm going to throw down my sign around this corner so that the guard can't see. Now I'm going to bring the cobwebs and the pearl into the death trap, and let him kill me with them in my inventory. My items are now in the chest over here. The guard can look at them, but he most likely won't think too much of them since they're just random items, and he'll probably just leave them there. I can make it even look more inconspicuous by just having random items like saplings and grass in there. And then, once I respawn, I'm going to pick up the sign that I threw around the corner and then go across the lava. If I ever lost my sign or the guard found it, I can just take one of the many scattered across the walls while the guard isn't looking. The point is, I need to smuggle a sign into the cell if I want to escape. Anyways, now the guard is going to lock me in the bedroom and make me sleep, and while he's around the corner flipping the switches, I need to throw the sign either in this corner or in this corner. It makes it impossible for the guard to see, but I need to make sure that I don't accidentally pick it up. Then once I get killed, I'll need to hotkey to my second slot and then pick it up, just to make sure that the guard doesn't see anything. And then we officially go into the cell. This is the most grueling part of the escape. I'm gonna have to mine a piece of cobblestone for 4 hours straight. Disclaimer, I didn't actually mine a piece of cobblestone for 4 hours because I'm lazy. Once this cobblestone breaks, I'm gonna have to be quick. I switch to my slot with the sign and place it on the wall. And that's alright, that's good. Now this part of the escape process is crucial. I'm gonna have to alert the guards to my presence later, but not right now. If I do, then my escape is over, and I will be caught. You may be wondering, didn't you just alert the guards by breaking that block? And actually, no, because you see, I found a flaw in Sven's plans for this prison. The Ender Pearl stasis chambers don't get triggered by you breaking a block. They get triggered when the cobblestone generator replaces a block. But since there's a sign blocking the cobblestone, the piston can't fire and the observer won't get triggered. So the guards have no idea what's happening. Now I can just swim inside this little bedroom, break the bed, and if this was hard mode, then I could just spam jump in here until I starve to death, and then I would spawn outside of the prison. But on normal and easy mode, you can't starve to death. That means that the only way we're gonna get out of here is to get that bed tunnel open, and the only way to get it opened is if a guard does it. So first, I will break the cobblestone under the sign to let the water in, and then I will break the cobblestone from above the sign, alerting the guards to my presence. They will then do the composter glitch to see what I'm doing, and then they'll see that I'm in the bedroom and that my bed is broke, so their only option is to open the tunnel to get to me. But that was my plan all along. To fool the ones who think that they are in control, you must use their own strengths against them, mainly in these two ways. Number one, the guard will have to open the bed door, which can only be done by going all the way up here to the second guard control room. And as soon as that door is opened, there's my chance. They used the water to restrain me. Now I can use the water to swim out through the tunnel and right past them. If there's one guard in the prison, then it'll be pretty easy. I can practically walk out of the prison. But if there's more, then we can get by them without them having enough time to react. Great, I got the guard to basically open the door and let me out of their own prison. Now I need to do one thing. Run. I run by the guards. I can't make any slip-ups here or I'm dead. I flip the lever that turns the inside portal on as I run by. Then I get my items from the chest, and place the cobwebs behind me to slow them down. Then I break the glass and pearl to the other side of the lava chasm, and go through the portal. This isn't completely over, however. Now we're stuck in the nether, but thankfully we did some preparing beforehand. Now I grab the axe and the milk out of the chest. I could grab more, but the guards might show up soon. Then I escape through the tunnel that I built beforehand, and out through my nether portal to the overworld, safe and sound.
Have you built it?
Yes, sir. Me and another engineer have made the most inescapable prison.
If you put him in there, can he escape?
Absolutely not. Unless he has a small army of like 10 withers, but we both know that he's alone.
Good. Very good.
Aries Vault, the prison of legends, the prison of myths. You see, after Sven had built his master prison, the internet was flooded with escape tutorials, including mine. So Sven decided to double down on his prison. He hired another redstone mastermind, and together they built this behemoth of a structure. It went from this to this. Just for comparison, this is the prison, and this little dot is me. It has double the redstone, double the security, double the elder guardians. Everything is chorus fruit proof, and even the guards can't break the prisoner out if they wanted to. All of this just to house one prisoner. All of this to protect such a tiny chamber. All of this, and believe it or not, I still found a way to escape. Alone. To begin, let's go back to Poseidon's vault. The prison was good, yes, but inescapable? No. But just as it had flaws, so did my escape plan. There were things that I didn't account for, and there were many different versions of this escape that I didn't show in my video because they weren't as dramatic as the main one. But out of pretty much all of the prison escape tutorials online, mine was the only one where you could escape alone. But unlike my old plan, this new one doesn't rely on the guards being stupid. If we take a look inside the prison, we can see how massively complicated it is. So let's dissect it piece by piece. Now the main cell and premise of this build is pretty much exactly like Poseidon's vault, which means that in turn we can escape from it exactly like last time by smuggling in items. I'll get to that later. Like last time, the walls infinitely regenerate with cobblestone. You're underwater, you constantly have mining fatigue 3, and it takes you 4 hours to break a single block with just your fist. But now you don't get fed because it's on easy mode. If you're in normal, then a guard can come in and give you food by hand and then be teleported out. But this time, the entry to the cell is a lot more secure and a lot more rigorous. Sven didn't half-bake this new prison. It is remarkable how secure he made it. You start by going into the prison from a portal, and you end up in the main lobby area. This time the lockers are closed off by netherite doors and can only be opened by a guard, and your items can only be unlocked using a keycard. Then you go into the first decontamination hallway. Already this is different than last time. This time, you and the guard are separated by a 3-block thick netherite wall that has windows that can shut if the guard feels like he is threatened. This eliminates all prisoner-guard contact and makes the guards practically unkillable. Once you enter the hallway, you set your spawn and then you get killed. And then you go into this one-way door that will detect if 2 people are on the pressure plate. After that, you will get splashed with fire resistance and swim through a lava tunnel. And then you enter the second decontamination hallway, where you go through yet another kill check, and then you finally crawl through an even longer tunnel than before, and enter the cell. But that's just the beginning to this massive prison. Alongside the decontamination hallways, like I mentioned before, are guard observation hallways. They have windows that can be closed with the flip of a switch, and on the walls there are controls to all the kill checks, automatic doors, and lockdown buttons. As you may notice, the floors of the guard hallways are filled with water and soul sand. The guards are wearing soul speed and depth strider boots, which makes them move at almost a full sprint when walking. This water can be used for many things. It stops people from course fruiting inside, it stops explosions from destroying things, and if a prisoner gets inside, they will be slowed by the water, whereas the guards will be twice as fast. And if there's more than one guard, then normal guards can only access certain control rooms in the prison. The only guard that can access major rooms is the warden. The way they do this is by using key cards to unlock everything. This makes the entire guard force not able to break the prisoner out of the cell, and even if someone, somehow, got into the guard or warden chambers, The controls only work if there is a guard or warden there with their keycard. It is unbeatable. There also is another whole section to this build that lets visitors escape once done chatting with the prisoner, but my escape doesn't rely on that, so I won't cover it. The outside of the prison is like before. Lava, water, obsidian all the way around. But there is another brand new feature that Sven and the Deaf Creeper have added into this prison that makes escape attempts extra difficult. Lockdowns. A lockdown will get triggered if a guard or warden presses this button and will shut down the entire prison and make an annoying alarm sound. All doors are sealed, all portals shut off, and the conduit is deactivated so that the prisoner will drown. This lockdown can also be triggered by the prisoner or visitor breaking carpet in the lobby, breaking a block in the cell, or if more than one player is standing on this pressure plate. Or, believe it or not, if the bed is broken or slept in more than 3 times. Yes, they actually made it to where if the bed is interacted with more than twice, then there will be a lockdown. All of this is very impressive, Sven. A good challenge. But you're gonna have to try just a little bit harder if you want to imprison me. There it is. I've escaped many prisons in my day, but this... I better not psych myself out. Anyways, I'm supposed to be in there by evening, or else a guard is gonna take me by force. I'm gonna bring in this daylight detector and an efficiency 5 golden pickaxe. Since the cell is the same as last time, I need to smuggle in a block to stop one of the cobblestone generator modules from activating. Last time I used a sign, but you can actually use one of these 5 items: a sign, a trapdoor, a fence post, a fence gate, or a daylight detector. I chose the latter because out of all of these blocks, a daylight detector is the fastest to break. Now that could be the only block that I smuggle in, and I could escape that way. It would be safer, but it would also take over 4 hours to complete. However, I am feeling a little bit spicy today, so I'm also going to smuggle in an efficiency 5 golden pickaxe. Alright, let's go in. I'm going to use some good old-fashioned social manipulation. If I come in with my netherite gear and weapons and potions, and then I put them in the locker or give them to the guards, then they'll be less likely to think that I smuggled anything in. Now I'm in the first decontamination hallway. This will be easy. You see, with all the security that the guards have made to protect themselves from me, they limited their vision significantly. So if I throw my items right in this corner, they won't be able to see them. But Mythrodak, when can you throw the items into the corner without the guards seeing you? Well, actually, you see, this prison is made in a very convenient fashion as to where the guards have to turn all the way around to flip any levers and then turn all the way back around to see what I'm doing. So no matter what, there will be multiple moments when the guard has his back turned, and when it is, I will throw my items down. Then, I set my spawn and get killed. And when I respawn, I need to spam the 3 key and then hold the S and A keys, since I'm facing the bed when I respawn. This will ensure that the guards can't see when I pick up the items, even if they're looking right at me. Next comes the part where I walk through the golden pressure plate door and through the lava tunnel. There's no tricks here, but when I emerge on the other side, I need to be ready. This will be the hardest part of the smuggling to figure out. Because this door opens, you sleep in the bed, this door closes, and the other one opens. You get killed and then you spawn on the other side. But after some intense experimenting, I found a way to get my items to the other side. The guard will turn his back to open the door to the second bed chamber, and while he does, I need to throw my items at the very foot of the bed against the wall. They can't land on it or too far away or else this won't work. Then I tap the bed, let him close the door, and get killed. Now the items are glitching inside the bed, but the guard can't see them. When I respawn, I spam my 3 key again, and I automatically pick up the items. I did it. I made it through the kill checks. Now I approach my final destination, the cell. The first thing I do to escape the cell is absolutely nothing. I sit and wait. The warden probably has his eyes on me right now by doing the composter glitch, but I must wait for him to be satisfied that I am not getting out, and once I believe that he's off attending other prison matters, then I strike. There should be routine checks on me, I'm guessing every 30 minutes, but even if the guards checked on me the absurd amount of every 10 minutes, it would still give me enough time to break out, because my plan only takes 6. I take out my pickaxe and mine the block to the bottom left of the corner. This will take 2 minutes and is way faster than 4 hours. It takes 50 seconds for me to drown, so that means that even if the guard manages to see me halfway through breaking the block, they won't be able to drown me. However, it is highly unlikely that the guard manages to check on you and call a lockdown at the exact moment that you start breaking the block. Once I break the block, I quickly hotkey to my second slot and place the daylight detector, and then I swim inside of the little space. Like last time, breaking the block and blocking the piston doesn't sound the alarm, so if a guard hasn't actually went to the composter room to look at me, none of them will even know what's going on. But even if they do manage to check on me right as I break in, what are they gonna do? Drown me? Then what I must do is break the bed and break the daylight detector. Once I do, then I will automatically get pushed back into the cell and it will trigger a lockdown, summoning all the guards to come and look at me. But you see, this is exactly what I wanted. They have all fallen into my trap. Triggering a lockdown automatically drowns me, and the only way to stop it is if the warden goes all the way to this room and presses these two buttons. But why would the guards even want to stop the lockdown? They won't know that the bed is broken because they can't even see the bed. What it looks like to them is that I just broke a block and refilled it, and they need to kill me to make sure that I don't get out. But ironically, it's the exact opposite. Killing me has set me free.
What? No.
Before Hades' vault, before Poseidon's vault, there was another inescapable prison. The OG, the blueprints, the beginning to madness. Pandora's Vault. Everyone already knows about Pandora's Vault. It's the famous prison of the Dream SMP that houses Dream himself. It is incredibly secure and incredibly impressive for being built in survival by one man. I mean, look at this thing. It is considered to be the foundation of inescapable prisons, the baseline, if you will. It is notoriously difficult to escape from. Some people even say that it's impossible. And those who do, clearly, have never met me. Now, when I say that Pandora's Vault is the blueprints, that does not mean that this prison is easy to break out of. The absolute scale and ingenuity of this prison being built in survival by one man is absolutely astounding, and I have to commend Awesome Dude's galaxy brain that he used while constructing this. Although with all that being said, I did find numerous ways to get out. I'm not going to go through each one, but pretty much all of them had to do with either dying or getting help from the outside, but I want a challenge. A good puzzle to work my way around. Let's say that I'm actually in a scenario where I'm on the server with this prison. I have one canon life left. Everyone on the server hates me. I haven't been given time to prepare beforehand, and I was captured and forced to come here. So to make things harder for me to get out, I'm gonna have these rules set up. I can't kill myself or die to get out. I can't smuggle any items in. I can't use any visitor. And I can't go between rooms, even if I get out of one. Let me explain. You see, we don't have any world download of the Dream SMP prison in full, so what people have done is made a replica based on the streams of the Dream SMP. They put in all the redstone contraptions from the build, except for the vanishing floor. Awesome Dude just has such a gigabrain that the people couldn't figure out how to do it, or maybe they were too lazy, so they just used command blocks to make the floor disappear and reappear. That's okay. Using even command blocks won't stop me. But anyways, using a replica based on what we see in the streams of course leaves some unexplored areas. There are 2 unknown rooms in this prison. We don't know what they are, so I can't use them. and also the space between the rooms is filled with an empty void surrounded by glowstone and animals for some reason. Either way, if I got out of a room by the cell, I could just walk over to the portal room and get in through the redstone lights. So I'm just assuming that Awesome Dude has made barriers in between the rooms in the real prison. Also, this is my cousin that I made cosplay as Awesome Dude for this video, just for clarification. So in my recent escape videos, I always plan ahead and always have stuff ready. But in this scenario, just to make it extra difficult on me, let's just say that for some reason I wasn't prepared for being put in prison and that I have been captured by the protagonists. I have no time to prepare, and if I die while inside the cell, that counts as my last canon life. So I must be extra careful not to make any mistakes. With this set of obstacles for me to go over, this escape plan is the most difficult and dangerous that I've ever had to do. So now let me show you what I must overcome. You start by going into a portal outside the prison, and then going through the same portal from the nether, and ending up in the main lobby area of the prison. Here, the guard opens the lockers where you put in all your items, and then he opens the first door to the prison. This brings you to observation hallways. This is one of the only times that you will be separated from the guard, and this is to make sure that you don't have any items on you. First you click this bed, then you will be trapped and then killed with harming potions. After that, you respawn in the next hallway. Ahead of you is the first lava chasm. The guard raises the floor so that you can walk over it, and then once you do, you come to this massive room, which holds the epic 6x6 iron vault door, guarding the entrance to the cells. Once the guard opens the vault door, you are presented with the main holding cells. These cells are for common criminals, so they aren't the deepest in the prison, but nonetheless they are still pretty inescapable, seeing as how they are right next to a sheer drop into lava. Then the guard raises this walkway, and you enter this room, where you set spawn, get manually searched for items, and then move on to the next room, which is this place. Here you get splashed with water breathing and poison, so that you are only on half a heart and can be killed anytime if the guard feels like you're trying something nefarious. Then you swim through a 1x1 waterway to the next room, and this room has a whole host of controls. It has a bed trap where you set your spawn, and then you get splashed with fire resistance. Once you do that, you then ride this honey block flying machine across the third lava chasm. Then you douse yourself in this water so that you don't burn, go up these dramatic steps and enter the last bed respawn point, where you set your spawn and then wait for the lava to lower. And then finally you ride this flying machine to the cell. It retracts and then the lava is sent back down. This is for visitors, but I'm guessing that they did the same thing for the prisoner as well, except instead they built a little stairway up to the cell bed, made them tap it, and then covered it up with obsidian. And the cell is arguably the most secure part of the prison. It is surrounded by obsidian, and then who knows how many hundreds of blocks of lava. And then your bed is behind more obsidian. When you die, you respawn on a pressure plate that pushes you back down into the prison without you being able to punch anything. And did I forget to mention that you have Mining Fatigue 3? Yeah, every prison has Mining Fatigue 3 now. Also, I'm going to make sure that this prison is in maximum security mode for extra difficulty, all doors locked, all lava activated, and all bridges deactivated. Since Awesome Dude is the smartest man to ever live, he made one-way doors that can only be opened from the outside, so when they are locked, the switches on the inside of the door do nothing. All of these safety measures to make sure that I can't ever get out, and yet, they have already given me more than enough to escape. This is the easiest stage. I just need to do everything that the guard tells me to, and come in peacefully. I need to give the guard as much confidence in himself as possible. He probably knows about my past of smuggling items into prisons to break free, so he will be extra thorough in checking that I have none. I go through the motions. Set my spawn, get killed, go across the bridge, go through the vault, set my spawn, get manually checked, get poisoned, swim through the waterway, set my spawn, get fire resistance, go through the lava, extinguish myself, set my spawn here, wait for the lava to drain, and then tap on the bed in the bed trap if the guard has opened a tunnel to do it. All I do then is get out of the bed, and then I will be trapped inside the cell, surrounded by a wall of lava. Now the guard left me with a chest full of books and quills to write various things like journals and diaries and suicide notes in the chest over here, and they may seem useless at first glance, but they will be the key to getting me out of here unnoticed. Also, I'm going to have Mining Fatigue 1. This escape plan is still possible with Mining Fatigue 3, I just merely use it so that this video isn't 7 hours long. Now obviously there's only one guard in this prison. Awesome Dude. He has his reasons for being the only one. There are some advantages, but there are also some advantages for me, the prisoner, as well. You see, no matter how long Awesome Dude stays online, he's going to need sleep every once in a while, and he can't play Minecraft forever. So what I will do is, for the next day to a week, however long I want to be in here, I write down the times that he logs off the server and back on again in these books for how long he is gone. This will help me calculate the best time to make my move and how long I will have to perform it before Awesome Dude comes back online. So yes, we need to memorize his sleep schedule, or at least his computer usage schedule. It's been 30 minutes since the guard has logged off. He should hopefully be getting to REM's sleep. If I'm ever gonna get out, it's now. I have a few hours to myself before he comes back. My first move is to immediately jump into the lava. You might think that I'm incredibly stupid for ending my last canon life. And you are right, I am stupid, but you're wrong about me ending my life, because I can get to the other side of this lava wall without dying. I need to exit out of the world, rejoin, swim for a second or two, and then repeat that over and over until I get to the other side. Because when you join a Minecraft world, you are impervious to damage for 3 seconds unless it's void damage. This means that with enough patience and timing, I can get across to the other side. Now I douse myself in the water at the bottom of the stairs, and then I go back to grab the bed from the room, and then move on. I forgot to mention this, but I'm also going to be taking this clock so that I know when it's nighttime. This will come in handy later. Now there's another lava tunnel. This one is different because there's a guard tunnel to the right, and if we break in like this, we can get through it. And this room right here is the jackpot, because Awesome Dude decided to light it with shroom lights, which conveniently can be broken and picked up with your fist, unlike a glowstone, sea lantern, or redstone lamp. So I'm just gonna take all of these with me. They will be useful later. I'm also going to disable the bed trap and get the bed from this corner and then swim through the water gate. Now I end up in this small room. I am blocked by a piston door that is locked from the outside. Thankfully though, I can tamper with the redstone to make one of the halves open. I break this shroom light and then break this tiny bit of redstone right here. This opens the bottom of the piston door. I then use the shroom lights to shape the water, sculpt it into the form that I want it to be, and then use it to swim under the door. Although, now I'm in another room, guarded by another piston door locked from the outside. This time it will be a bit harder to tamper with the redstone, but we can still do it. We just need to stack up to this redstone lamp, break it, and break the redstone block. Place the bed against this block, sleep in the bed, and then get out, and we are on top of the room. This is what I was talking about when I said that you are able to get out of the rooms. So just imagine there's walls here. It would take me ages to try and break out of the walls. So instead I break this piece of redstone and go back into the room, remembering to collect all the shroom lights and beds. I now got this side of the door to open, but here comes the most daunting part of the challenge yet. The lava chasm. There's no floor, and the only way it can be activated is from the other side, so I'm gonna have to get across another way. Good thing Awesome Dude gave me enough of those shroom lights. Anyways, now comes the vault door. This thing was one of the biggest challenges to try and beat, because it is 5 blocks thick, it's all iron, surrounded by obsidian, and it would take way too long to mine. But this problem can be solved just like any other, with patience and focus. You see, I learn a lot from the captors that imprison me over and over again. And one thing that I have picked up from all the bed respawn traps was how they use the beds. What I do is break this shroom light, break this redstone, and build back up. Now I will use the guard's bed trap trick as a means to escape the very thing that they thought to stop me. I place the bed here, sleep, and wake up. I'm inside the door. Now I place a shroom light here, place a bed here, and do the exact same thing. And I am through, without a scratch on it from this side. Now, this lava chasm can be opened by a button here, so thankfully, we don't have to parkour over it. Now thankfully the door to the guard area is opened by pressure plates on this side, so I can walk through and face the last door that I must break. But I'm gonna have to use good old-fashioned punching to get through this one. It's just one though, it's only blackstone, it'll take a while with mining fatigue 3, but I can still do it. Then I place the bed here and sleep in it once again. I now have access to the main control panel. Now I must turn on the portal and then open my ender chest. I don't know about you, but I always keep TNT, obsidian, and flint and steel in my ender chest, just in case I need to make another portal in the nether. All I need to do is enter the portal, light the TNT just as I'm about to be teleported, and just like that, I've escaped the Dream SMP's most inescapable prison, still holding my last canon life.
Hello Mythrodak. Welcome to Titan's Vault. This prison is inescapable, so don't even try. And if you're thinking about visitors, you can forget it. This prison is surrounded by a chunk ban. You will stay here until your life sentence is served. Have a wonderful day.
Challenge accepted. Currently, the internet has been overrun with new inescapable prisons. Some are soulless cash grabs, some are extremely secure. But while I was escaping Pandora's vault, a bunch of you ladies told me about a specific prison called the Obelisk. I checked it out, and what I first thought was, yes, finally, a prison that doesn't have vault in the name. I could escape it. I used a lectern and a bed, and I escaped by getting out of the cell and parkouring through the inside of the prison on the redstone line bridges. But as I was working on this video, Mining Blob made a new prison, supposedly even stronger. Then I stopped what I was doing and took a look at the new prison, Titan's Vault. And what I saw horrified me. This prison is astounding and quite sophisticated. As the title of this video says, it is extremely tall. I dare say the tallest prison in Minecraft. It has even more thorough kill checks than its predecessor, and an even better cell than Poseidon and Hades' vault combined. This time, every redstone line is protected by dozens of layers of obsidian, so there's no room to walk outside of the rooms. And also, this time, it is absolutely impossible for a friend to break in from the outside and get you, because the entire prison is surrounded by a chunk ban. A chunk ban is when a chunk has too much information for your client to handle, so it kicks you off the server. So this means that I'm going to have to get out without any outside help. This won't be anything new, of course. Also, this is going to be version 2 of this prison. Apparently, a few people escaped the first prison, so they patched all the flaws in this new version. Now, without any more stalling, let's see what awaits us inside of this thing. To start, you go inside the portal from the outside and then re-enter from the nether, and then you're inside the prison. But be prepared, the trip to the cell is a bit cramped. It is already small when you get out of the portal, but it is about to get a lot smaller as you get compacted into one block and swim into the kill check. There's hoppers everywhere, so if you try and throw down items, they will be sent to the guard. The guard opens the netherite doors individually, you put your items in the locker, you tap the bed, you get killed, and then you spawn on the other side. If you try to blow up this window, there's a netherite wall that will automatically close. When you spawn on the other side of the wall, you're in this tunnel. You walk to a one-person door that detects if 2 people are standing on the pressure plate, and once you're through that, you go to the second floor, where you crawl through a lava tunnel and go up a bubble elevator. The guard then opens this netherite door to let you through, and then here is where 2 paths diverge. If you are a visitor, then you get a pearl from the guard and throw it into a stasis chamber, and set your spawn so that you can be warped out of the cell. But if you are a prisoner, then you must go up the bubble elevator, set your spawn at the bed, and then once you wake up, you will drop down into the cell. The cell is somewhat similar to the cells in the obelisk and Poseidon's vault, but instead it has a basalt generator. You have droppers full of bread and lots of lights so that no mobs will spawn, and the floor is covered with water so that nobody can coerce fruit inside of the cell. If you somehow manage to die, then you will be respawned in the ceiling in an obsidian box. Then you will be dropped back down. And let me tell you, this cell almost broke me. It was superior to every other cell I've seen in every way. Not only are the walls regenerating, but you can't reach the bed. It's behind obsidian and it's dozens of blocks up into the air. You can't take fall damage to die, you can't drown to die, and on top of that, it looks good. Also, in the obelisk, the guards had no way to look at you, but here they have a composter glitch that lets you look into the cell 1 second at a time. It just seems too good. This prison seems too advanced to be broken out of. All of the previous flaws were fixed, and this has improved on every prison in every other way. But as they say, the taller they stand, the harder they fall. Alright, so there's a few things that I need to get out of the way before I go in. Number 1, it seems like there is only room for one guard in this prison. If there were more, then I don't know what the other one would do, so I'm assuming that there's one guard. Number 2, this prison can't be built at world spawn, because the way that the visitors get out of this prison is by getting killed so that they spawn outside of the prison, so killing myself is a viable option to escape. And number 3, when I loaded the map there were command blocks that were on the ground that I destroyed for cinematic shots, but after the fact I realized that they might have been the Elder Guardian spawners, so I'm just assuming that there will be mining fatigue administered every time an Elder Guardian detects that you don't have it like normal. Make sense? Also, I'm going to have Mining Fatigue 1, just to take the strain off of the editing process, but it won't really change anything, it will just take longer in real time. Speaking of real time, this plan will take a lot of patience. A lot of time is required to get out, but I don't have a clock on my back for nothing. The first thing that I'm gonna have to do is bring in anything I want really. It doesn't really matter, but I must make sure that I bring in a milk bucket. What I'm going to do is put everything but the milk into the barrel. I'm going to right click the bed, and then right before I get killed, I'm going to drink the milk bucket. The bucket will get sent into the guard's barrel, but that's fine. Even if they see me drink it, they can't do anything. Also, it might stall them for a brief minute. Now, I don't know why this is here, but for some reason, there's a barrel in the first hallway, and it is filled to the brim with wooden hose. And when you take out hose, hoppers filter in more hose into it. I don't know why this is here, but I will take advantage of it. As soon as I respawn, I need to immediately start mining the barrel. This is one of the only places in the prison where the guard can't see me, and since I drank the milk, I won't have mining fatigue for another minute or so. I take the barrel with me, and I leave the hose around the corner just so I don't clutter up my inventory. Then I move on through the rest of the prison normally. I must do everything that the guard tells me exactly so that he won't be suspicious of anything, all up until I go up to the last bubble elevator, because before I get into the bed, I need to mine the sign below it. Now if I got here in a minute or so, then I can break it in a few seconds, but if I get mining fatigue 3, then I need to use a more unconventional method. Now me and the guard will probably be in a voice call or typing in the chat to communicate, so all I need to do is give him some excuse to make him think that I'm AFK, such as saying, "Sorry, my mom came into my room," or "I'm going to the bathroom, BRB." Then I hold perfectly still and start breaking the sign. But if the guard, for some reason, breaks out of his guard chambers and comes up to check on me while I'm AFK, then I will just stop breaking the block when I see his name tag coming up the bubble elevator. And when he leaves, I'll start again. But this is highly unlikely because when you get up this bubble elevator, there's no way to get back down, and the guard would have to break out of his chamber. So the guard would have to destroy a large part of his prison just to come up and look at me when I'm AFK. As soon as I get the sign into my inventory, then I say something like, "Sorry, I'm back. What do I do next?" And then they will tell me to click the bed. And then once I leave the bed, I will be trapped in the prison. Here's where the patience kicks in. You see, I'm gonna have to try and know when the guard is sleeping or when they are off Minecraft. If they get off Minecraft at certain times, then I can just memorize that, but if they don't get off specifically, and they get off more randomly throughout the day, then I'll just make my move right after they log off. But what if the guard never logs off Minecraft? Somehow they manage to never restart their computer, never close off of Minecraft, and stay connected to the server all the time. Well, then I have a plan for that as well. You see, from Mining Blob's video, he sounded like he was from the UK. Just to make sure, I used some light-hearted banter to ask if he was, and of course he fell for the bait. Now I know what time zone he is probably in, so I will wait until it is the middle of the night, in BST or GMT, depending on what part of the year it is in, because the human body cannot forego sleep forever. But even if the guard managed to look at me using the composter glitch, they can only see the cell from a very weird angle. It's hard to see some parts of the cell. Either way, whenever I feel it is the best time to strike, then I do so. This escape is not for the faint of heart. It will take a long time, but I'm up for the challenge. What I first do is break this bottom basalt and immediately replace it with the barrel. Then I mine all of the basalt above it as far as I can reach. Then I break the barrel and ride the elevator up to the top, place it down again, break more blocks, and then do that again until I am right here. You see, the bed respawn points are blocked and unblocked by pistons that are on a redstone clock, so I'm going to have to time this just right. When the piston opens, I'm going to place the sign on this block. This disables this side of the bed trap. One side down, one to go. Now for the other side, I'm actually going to use a glitch to make it easier for me. Now normally I would get bullied in the comments for using a glitch to help me escape, but the guards are already using multiple chunk bans, using command blocks to place in Elder Guardians, and using a composter glitch to spy on me, so I think that it's a little bit justified. What I do is break the barrel beneath me, and then if I stand on the edge of the block and hold shift, I can glitch on this side of the wall as the basalt regenerates. All I do here is place the barrel above the netherite block when it opens, and now the bed is obstructed. Victory is within my clutches. Now I just need to find a way to die, because as I discussed earlier, that is extremely hard to do in this cell. There is no way to take fall damage, there's no automatic kill prisoner lockdown of any sort, and even if somehow I managed to get into a swimming position, there's a conduit so that I don't drown. So I'm going to have to trick Minecraft into killing me. Since I'm glitched in the side of a wall, what I must do is kill myself by walking backwards into it. Since I'm shifting, the wall won't push me out, and Minecraft will think that I'm stuck inside the block and start suffocating me, making my health go lower and lower until I die and respawn at the world spawn point. And with that, I escape from my greatest challenge yet. Titan's Vault. At least I'm not completely alone in this world. You won't put me in prison, right? But now I'm free. But am I actually? You stay here. There's someone I need to see. Look, Plumpkin, I need to talk to you about something. Someone has been imprisoning me over and over, or making some of their henchmen make prisons for me and keeping me in them. The first few times I was courteous, and I asked them why I was being imprisoned, but I never got an answer. Plumpkin, should I go after this person? Should I pursue revenge even after all? I don't know. But there's no use in waiting around to get imprisoned again, is there? What is that? What you are looking at is Glacier's orb, a behemoth of a prison constructed by Creovite, an OG in the prison community. As you may notice, the entire thing is constructed within an enormous icy sphere. This new design of prison intrigued me, not only because of its unique exterior, but because of its sleek and secure interior. Creovite wasn't messing around when he constructed this new prison, so neither will I. And if it's your first time here, subscribing helps this channel out a lot. You don't have to if you don't want to, I just thought I'd ask. But for this prison, I'm going to be putting a few restrictions on myself to make this escape harder. I'm not allowed to smuggle in any items from outside of the prison, and I'm going to set the world spawn to inside of the cell. With these rules, this is by far the hardest prison that I've ever had to escape. So let me show you what lies beneath the surface of this glacier. Inside of this thing, everything is lined with netherite blocks and filled with water. There are 3,000 Elder Guardians, which gives you Mining Fatigue 3, and the guards are constantly equipped with the most OP gear. If they die, they respawn at an armor equip station. Between the main workings of the prison and the shell of the glacier are thousands of blocks of obsidian and then lava. Needless to say, it would take a few months to punch your way out with just your fist. And the guard chambers are even more OP. Anytime the guards want, they can activate an Enderpearl stasis chamber that will teleport a guard immediately to them wherever they are, and then they will kill the guard to clean their inventory and then equip them with a fresh set of OP items and gear. Creovite truly made the most inescapable prison yet. It is very ingenious, the methods that he used to create such a structure. But to actually get inside of this prison, you must do the following. You first walk up the spiral staircase around the base of the entrance, and then you enter the portal at the top. Once you're through, you go through it once again in the nether to get inside of the prison, and then you're in this giant lobby. And Creovite took Glacier to a whole new level, because everything is underwater. There is a conduit so that you don't drown, but they can be turned off at any time if the guards think that you need to be killed. Then you set your spawn by tapping on this bed and go into this little nook, where you get killed by lava and respawn in the next area. There are long, winding hallways that you must swim down, and going parallel to them are the guard hallways. Here is where the guards will look at you and also have the controls for the kill checks and other things. You go over to this honey block machine and stand on the front block, and then you get flown through a lava tunnel. Then you go to the second kill check, which is pretty much the same as the first one. You set your spawn, get killed by lava, and then get teleported to the next hallway. And in this one you come face to face with a 7x7 netherite vault door. You go through, and then you go through another kill check, swim down one more tunnel, set your spawn at this bed, and then you'll swim up a door in the ceiling to set your spawn one last time at the bed trap, and you'll respawn in the cell once you wake up. But if it's daytime, then you can go into this nook to get killed, and then you'll respawn inside that way. And that brings us to the cell. The cell was something that I've never seen before in a prison. Most prisons are getting predictable, using a regenerating wall and some water, but this one is completely different. You're on a 3-block wide platform of obsidian, floating above cascading lava. The only way out is through the visitor entrance tunnel, but it's far too high and out of reach for you to be able to get to it, even if you had jump boost too. And if you think that you can swim through the lava somewhere with the lava invincibility glitch, then think again, because there's nothing on the other side of the lava except for dozens of layers of obsidian and death. Once you go into the lava, there's no way to get back without dying. And speaking of dying, every time you die, you respawn in the ceiling, in an obsidian-encased box on top of an iron trapdoor. These 2 boxes are too high for you to reach, and also, even if you manage to reach an obsidian or netherite block, the Mining Fatigue 3 makes it so that it would take an entire day to break 1 block with just your fist. There's nothing you can do in this prison. There's nothing you can reach. There's no way to get out. The only way back to the portal is through endless blocks of netherite, and in plain sight of the guards. Is this truly the prison that cannot be escaped alone? Oh, come now. You haven't lost faith in me that quickly, have you? There they go again, Shiratori. This is getting out of hand. But this time we have caught them before it's finished, giving us enough time to prepare. I'm gonna take you somewhere safe. Listen, I'm not gonna be with you for a few more days, okay? These people are gonna try and come and get me. I'll try and evade capture as long as I can, but you're just gonna have to hang in there until I figure something out, alright? I'm gonna go now. I knew this day would come, just not so soon. I thought I could at least get out of their sight, but apparently these prison builders work fast. Now, to be clear with everyone, this version of the prison is version 2, which had a lot of exploitable functions patched, and it is harder to escape. Also, I'm actually going to set the world spawn inside of the cell, so that if I obstruct or destroy the bed and die, I'll still respawn inside the cell. But this wouldn't ever work in a normal survival world, because if the prison was built at the actual spawn point, then the prisoner wouldn't spawn on one of the 3 blocks. They would spawn in a 20-block radius randomly, and they wouldn't even spawn in the cell. They would spawn above the cell, on top of the prison, because Minecraft will only spawn you on top of anything that's within the spawn radius. But just to make it harder on me, I'm going to actually use commands to set my spawn on this platform. The first thing that I'm going to do in this escape plan is exactly what the guards tell me to. I always like to exploit the flaws in the guard force, so to do that, I need to make them think that they have the upper hand. And part of doing that is being as cooperative as possible. I go through every kill check, every tunnel, and every door, all up until I get to this part in the hallway. Here lies the exposed bed for the visitor. I break the bed, and then make sure to hotkey to my second slot so that nobody sees me take it. This is perfect. This is all I need. But wait a moment, Mythrodak. How could you break it? You have Mining Fatigue 3 and your head is underwater. Wouldn't it take around 9 minutes to break it? The guards would definitely notice you standing there when breaking it. Well, yes, that is a very good observation. Bravo. But actually, I can break it the same time that a normal person would take to break it, because I don't have Mining Fatigue. You see, there's a critical flaw in this prison. There are 3,000 Elder Guardians that are supposed to be giving you Mining Fatigue 3 hundreds of times per second. But actually, what I've found out is that there are so many Elder Guardians that it causes the world to lag. It lags the world so bad that it doesn't give you mining fatigue for a few minutes. And this hasn't happened just to me, but other people have noticed the exact same thing. And this is just single player. Think about what it would be like on a server. But even so, when I'm captured, I'm gonna make sure that I'm playing on my old crappy laptop, because that will perpetuate the lag more. And even if I got mining fatigue before I got to the bed, in the new update, Kriavai added another kill check right before the bed, and dying clears you of any effect, therefore resetting the entire thing. But Mythrodak, when you break the bed, wouldn't the guards see that the bed was missing after you swam away from it? Another good observation. However, let me bring your attention to the second biggest flaw in this prison. If I come here to this side of the glass, where the guards are at, you can barely even see anything in the hallway. Here, Here is the place where the bed is supposed to be. Now take a guess if it's there or not. The answer is that it's actually there, and regardless of whether you guessed right, you cannot deny that it is nearly impossible to see the bed, let alone if the prisoner breaks it. Now with a bed in my inventory, I swim up to the second prisoner chamber and set my spawn at the last bed. I'm going to assume that the guards are smart, so they decided to capture me in the daytime. This means that I need to get killed to get inside the cell, therefore ensuring that I have no items on me. But this is just what I needed. You see, I want to keep the guards as certain as possible that I brought nothing in, and reassuring them with one last kill check should do the trick just as well. So what I do is throw the bed in the small crack right here, and then let them kill me with lava. Then when I respawn, I will automatically pick up the bed from the other side of the wall and then drop down into the cell. Now if this were an actual survival world, I would just place the bed down, right click it, and then break it and jump into the lava, and then I would escape like that. But if we are under the presumption that a server admin set the world spawn here with commands, then I'm going to have to escape another way. And this is where the fun begins. You see, the prison builders may think that they have the upper hand. They may have thousands of blocks of netherite, obsidian, and lava, thousands of elder guardians, and unlimited OP gear apparently, which in reality all of these things would be pretty impossible to get. But their security measures have trapped themselves more than it has trapped me. Because in the new update of the prison, Creovite removed the guard's method of looking at the prisoner, because someone had used it to escape. But this means that the guard can't look at what I'm doing. The only thing that they can see is my name tag. But if I crouch, then that problem will be fixed. The only way that I can imagine the guards looking at me is if they mined 2 pieces of glass and then purled through the window, or went through the entire kill checking system and having all of their items removed just to come into the right hallway. So, needless to say, I don't think the guards will be too eager to look at us. Plus, what have they got to be worried about? They saw me die multiple times right in front of their eyes with nothing on me. I should have no way to escape. Oh, how little they know. You see, for this escape, I'm going to have to think outside of the box. Or should I say, outside of the orb. You see, even if the builders had all of the items and Elder Guardians at their disposal to build this prison, it would take weeks if not months, and I'm not waiting around to get captured again. This next part is completely optional to the plan, but it will make the entire thing a lot faster. What I do is tunnel down to somewhere near bedrock, and then make a beacon. I'll try to make it as unnoticeable as possible, such as making it 50 blocks away from the prison cell, coloring the beam to blue or black, and then making it when the builders are working so that they think it will help them build easier. But what I will do is make a piston door for the beam that will be powered by a daylight detector. Not only will this beacon give me haste 2 and regeneration, but it will also tell me when it's day and night, because at night it will activate, and I will see the effect appear. When I do get the effect, and it has been an adequate amount of time to satisfy the guards, then I move. I leap off the platform and place the bed in this corner. I'm going to die, but that's fine. I'll respawn right back on the platform. Now the bed is over there. Then I'm going to jump off again and spam my right click. I will sleep in the bed, and then once I wake up, I'll be on top of it. Now, since I died, I don't have any mining fatigue any longer, and mining obsidian with your fist takes 250 seconds. Plus haste 2 will make it even faster. So I'll be able to break the piece of obsidian in time before the mining fatigue comes back. But even if it does come back sooner than that, I have a significant amount of the obsidian mined, and it will take much less time to get the rest of it broken. Then I'm going to jump back into the lava and then do the exact same thing, except for I'll break the obsidian above the one I just broke. Then I'm going to die once again. This time I'm going to stand right at the edge of this obsidian block and break the bed. There is a chance that you won't pick up the bed when you do this and it'll be burnt in the lava, but it's a risk I'm willing to take to ensure my freedom. Now there's something that you may notice about this place that I just dug out. There's a line of redstone. And even though it is 1 block tall and encased in obsidian, I can still use it to my advantage. You see, this redstone line goes 2 directions. One goes to a conduit, and the other goes straight inside of the vault door. All I need to figure out is how to get in there. So this next part is a bit confusing, but I'm going to place the bed right here. It's close enough to the ceiling ledge not to obstruct the bed. Then I use my parkour practice and jump out of the hole I made right at the edge, and then right click the bed. When I respawn, I'll be compressed into the swimming position, but as soon as I wake up, I need to break this block, and then this block. Then I crouch so I can maneuver my way onto the steps. I then need to break any blocks that will shape the water correctly, and then this black stone slab, so that the water will flow down. Either way, as soon as the water pours down, I swim in it and then break the bed once again. Then I place and break the bed over and over again until the water is right here, against the hole. All I do now is use the water to get into the swimming position, and then I crawl into the vents. need to crawl through the vents quickly, because I can't crouch when I'm in the swimming position, meaning that if the guard sees my name tag, this whole operation could be ruined. Now we're here. I break the sea lanterns, but right now we're stuck here. So what I'm going to do is immediately break this obsidian. With haste 2, it should only take around 2 minutes. And then I place the bed here, sleep in it, and then I can crawl through the opening into the vault door. And here's a whole host of resources that I can use for my escape. It's more than enough. But what I must do is immediately get all of the pistons, sticky pistons, and redstone torches. You really only need a few redstone torches and pistons, but I'm gonna get everything I can. Now I need to get back into the vent and crawl back as soon as possible. But getting back down into the vent is going to be kind of tricky. We don't have any water, so what I'm going to do is place the piston here and then a redstone torch here. This will push me down into the swimming position. Then I go into this step, and then I place the pistons and the redstone torches to push me down further. Then I quickly go back down to the vent and inside the main cell. And this is the most important and dangerous part of the whole escape, so I need to be perfect. I swim up the water and into the tunnel. Hopefully there aren't any guards there, but even if there are, they still have mining fatigue 3, so it will take them 5 minutes to break through 2 blocks of glass and pearl through. That gives me plenty of time. I put the piston here, and then put the redstone torch behind it. This will extend and then grab the netherite block, but since the water destroys the redstone torch pretty quickly, it will retract and then take the block with it. I then swim inside the visitor portal room, and now I have to work fast. The guards will be here any moment. The trouble is with this portal, because yes, I can take out the flint and steel and bucket and pick up the water, light it, and go through. But then I'd be stuck in the nether box, because the nether hub is actually in a tiny portal room, which is inside an enormous obsidian sphere that would take way too long to mine. And if I try to come back through, I'll end up back in the room. So instead, I'm going to use the guard's own security system against them. I put the water back into the dispenser, and then take out all the flint and steel. Then I crouch and place this piston facing this block, and then put a redstone torch next to it. The piston will then push the netherite block, destroying the redstone behind it. And then I break the piston, and then the redstone torch. I then light the portal and look directly at this block. And right before I teleport, I place down a redstone torch. Once I'm through, I enter again. It worked. I'm outside the prison. That was close, but hopefully the guard will take a few minutes to realize what... Shh. This is Aries Vault, built by JJK along with Star Pinox. Now obviously you can see that it is massive, but not only is it huge, but it is also extremely secure, filled with dozens of death traps, and its guards are stacked from head to toe in the most OP gear ever. Real quick, I hate saying this, I really do, but if you enjoy this video, could you consider subscribing? How it works is basically like this. You push big red button, number go higher, Mythrodak is big happy. You don't have to if you don't want to, I just thought I'd ask. This is Minecraft's most deadly prison, and I don't say that in vain, because inside of this thing are dozens of death traps. Where am I? Shoot, I'm in the prison already. How did I get here? I thought they couldn't see me. At least I hid Shiratori. They must have.
Hello, Mythrodak. Welcome to our humble abode.
How did I get here?
It was quite simple. We spiced your water supply with a sedative. We kept you away just enough to work through the entry process. We knew that we had to capture you eventually.
This wasn't how this was supposed to have happened. I couldn't set up a beacon or get anything from my under chest. I have
So we
nothing.
take some measures to make sure that you have nothing. Enjoy your stay.
This is fine. This is just another challenge. My plan is always to smuggle in items, but it looks like that's out of the picture. I need to think. Aries Vault. It's fairly large, one of the bigger prisons that I've seen. I'm guessing it's like every other generic inescapable prison in terms of outer walls, water, obsidian, and lava surrounding the main contents of the prison, and everything else is filled with obsidian. But this time the cell is a lot different. It appears that I'm on a floating platform above a dark pit. I can't reach the ceiling or the walls. The pit is encased in obsidian. My platform is netherite and obsidian, but now there's no hiding from the guards. On the walls surrounding me are windows that the guards can see me through. This seems pretty hopeless. I need to try and remember how I got in here. Or locked. Lobby. The first hallway. There's a barrel to put all your items in, or else they will be burned. After that, a piston door opened and I clicked on a bed and got killed by damage potions. And then I remember that I respawned in the second death trap, where the floor gave way and I fell into lava. Once I respawned, I went through 2 doors and into a poison trap, where my health was degraded to half a heart. After that, we continued down another hallway, and there was a lava chasm where the common cells were. There was a bridge that closed as we crossed it, and there were stairs, more hallways. We went into a control room where there were multiple pistons with netherite blocking the bed. I clicked on it and then I was killed. I respawned on the other side and then I was pushed down into the cell from the ceiling. A classic bed respawn trap. But this time there is a small twist. I remember that there was an open gap on the other side of the bed in the command room, right next to the guards, meaning that if I obstruct this side of the bed and then die, then I'll respawn in a netherite cage in full view of the guards. And speaking of the guards, this place was made for 3 guards and 1 warden. They probably log on at different shifts to look at me, and there is always at least 2, if not 3 people online at all times to operate the prison, and they're always staring right at me. By the way, this prison originally had a command block that gave everyone Mining Fatigue 3 infinitely, with a sign saying that they were too lazy to place Elder Guardians by hand, alongside some prison testers and me. Mythrodak, you can try to escape it, boy. What? But anyways, in the official Prison Maker handbook, it says the command blocks are not allowed. No command blocks or you die. Just kidding. I just don't want to escape a prison with an impossible command block. Because this version of the prison doesn't have Elder Guardians, and a command block is impossible to get in survival. So in reality, there would be no mining fatigue. But JJK argues that it could have Elder Guardians, and I was like, but it doesn't. And he was like, but it could. So yeah, I'm going to be escaping this prison with no mining fatigue. Why? Number 1, because it's a lot faster and it won't take 20 hours. 2, because there aren't any Elder Guardians in the prison. And yes, I could escape this same prison if there was a version that had Elder Guardians in it and I had mining fatigue 3. But that plan is just boring and dumb and lame and it wouldn't make a good video at all. You want to see how boring it is? Okay, here you go. You glitch on this side of the bed respawn trap and break all the redstone when the guards are AFK, offline, etc. Then you die and respawn in this trap and then you break this piece of sand and then either drown or let the guard kill you and then boom, you're outside the prison. Easy. But since I want a challenge, I'm going to use commands to set my spawn inside the bed trap. So even if I destroy the bed, then I won't escape. So I'm going to have to escape from this prison with nothing in my inventory, with my world spawn set to inside the bed trap, and with the guards looking straight at me. Aries was the god of war, and if it's a war they want, then it's a war they'll get. It's been about 5 minutes since I came in, and I can remember that outside the moon was directly above me in the sky. This means that it should have just turned day. This is good, because normally for a guard to get inside the cell with you, they would have to sleep in the bed and then fall through to the cell. But now they can't because it's day. Now is the perfect chance to escape. Now there's one thing that I can see in this bed trap: redstone. It is probably used to detect when I respawn and will trigger the pistons to push me back down. And this works 50% of the time, but redstone ore has a cooldown for when it lights up, so all I need to do is die a few times until it stops triggering. Now I need to work fast and break this sign and place it here, and then do the same with the other one below it. Now I've jammed the pistons, and if the guard tried to manually push me out, then it would do nothing. I now start breaking the redstone beneath me. The guards most definitely have noticed that I haven't come down, so what they're probably going to do is try to get in, and the nighttime is getting closer, so I need to be fast. Once I break 3 redstone, then I can rest easy, because there's no way the guards can come through that because this side of the bed is obstructed now. And they can't mine through the netherite blocks because they don't have any pickaxes. Their guard gear station only gave them armor, gapples, and weapons. Now I just need to break these 2 observers and then these 2 pieces of wood. Breaking the observers will stop the alarm from sounding, and breaking the 2 pieces of wood gives me a way into the little tunnel where the guards refill the redstone. If the guards see water coming down, then they'll immediately come up and try to stop me. I break the 2 signs above me and place them on the side of the wall again to stop the water from going down into the cell. If the guards see water coming down, they'll all immediately come up and try to stop me. I use the water to swim into the tunnel and then into this room. Now the last way that the guards can get to me up here is by opening this netherite door and purling through this gap. But all I need to do to stop that is break this piston. Now they have no way to get me other than to mine their way through with their fists. And now I'm going to unshift and show the guards that I'm inside the walls when they see my name tag. And while I'm doing this, I'm going to break 4 soul sand, this sign, this piston, and this piece of redstone that I can see over the ledge. Then I'm going to utilize something that I haven't seen in an escape yet: crafting. The guards must have forgotten that I have a 2x2 crafting area in my inventory, because while I can't make a crafting table and I don't have enough wood to make something like a pickaxe, I can make sticks, and with those sticks, I can make a redstone torch with the redstone that I just got. And that's all I need. While I'm doing all of this, probably all of the guards will be in the top control room, frantically trying to find a way to get through the wall to kill me. And now that my diversion has worked, this is what I need to do. I swim back through the tunnel and then crouch. They will think that I'm still inside the walls, but I'm actually going to break this bottom sign and swim back down into the cell. I'm going to place the sign again over my head once I'm past, and then I'm going to stay crouched in the water all the way down to the bottom of the pit. Now hopefully I've bought enough time. I turn down my smooth lighting and graphics to the lowest that they can go. This will show me the shadow patterns on the walls, which will help me locate which wall I need to break. And yes, I'm going to have to break a piece of obsidian on this wall. That is why I need to distract the guards and make them think that I'm somewhere else. That is what the diversion was for. And surprisingly, obsidian doesn't take that long to break with your fist, only like 5 minutes. If they manage to break the netherite blocks in the bed trap and then come into the cell, even if they look down, I'm very hard to see because my skin is mostly black and I'm all the way at the bottom of this shadowy chasm. I break the 3rd sign from the bottom corner here and stack up with 4 soul sand. And then this is the obsidian block that I need to break, because right outside of it is a redstone signal elevator. You may think that that's completely pointless, but no. It's an elevator for the redstone signal that powers the Warden's Ender Pearl stasis chamber. That means that if I can get into it, I will have a path straight into the Warden's chambers. Once I break it, then this is the slightly risky part. I place a piston above me and then a redstone torch beside it. This redstone torch is the thing I'm worried about, because it's like a beacon, showing exactly where I am. So once I crawl inside this hole, I break the piston and the redstone torch and as much sand as I can. Then I break this piston and then the slime blocks above it to make a room for me. Once I'm inside, I crouch and then start mining upwards. There's a few redstone blocks and pistons that I need to break, but everything else is slime blocks, which can be broken instantly and picked up. And I slowly stack my way upwards to the top. Even if the guards figured out that I was at the bottom of the pit, it would be too late to catch me. I'm almost at my freedom. Now I'm here, and once I build up, I'm going to have to break one singular blackstone block. And once I do, I click on this barrel. It's full to the brim with ender pearls. I'm going to have to take as many as I need, and then pearl into the Warden's room. Inside the Warden room is an armor equip station and an ender chest. Perfect. From my ender chest, I grab a bunch of stacks of obsidian, gapples, pearls, and anything I need. Then I block up the warden's ender pearl stasis chamber with obsidian and break his bed. And then I go to the guard's room, which is right next to the warden's room, and cover up all of their ender pearl stasis chambers with obsidian as well. And then in one foul swoop, I take out the entire guard force. Now I need to run. I don't know how long the obsidian will keep them trapped, but I need to work fast. I run down the stairs and into this room. In one of the death traps was a dispenser of TNT. I take out all of it. This will be useful later. Now normally in this situation I would just build a nether portal somewhere and use it to escape, but this time the entire roof of the prison is covered in nether portal traps, which means that the only way in or out of this place is through the main portal. So I go to the control room and I break these 2 blocks and flip this switch. This will disable the guard's keycard system and turn on the outside portal with brute force. Now what I do is break through the floor and break this piece of redstone. This enables the inside portal, and now this part I've done a million times. I stand in the portal and light the TNT right before I get teleported. And the guards can do absolutely nothing but sit and watch. But there's one last thing that I need to do before I leave this place. Sorry about this, but I need to make sure that this place doesn't hurt anyone else. On my way out of your prison, I filled every room with TNT. And right before I left, I ignited it. Checkmate. Who's next? Our chances are looking pretty slim. You see these? These are the blueprints to that place. I nabbed them from a different job and I've been looking at them for weeks now. They're almost done with the construction. It won't be long before they find me again, not with a small army at their side. And we aren't going to be looking over our shoulders for the rest of our lives either. The only way to show them that they are truly useless is to escape their grasp once again. But this prison, it's amazing. It's the epitome of
Perfection. That's what we have created in this new prison. And it's so good, it even has 4 cells.
We don't need 4 cells if we only need to contain him.
But this prison is inescapable. He may not have had help in the past, but now he might get so desperate he'll try to have someone break him out. And when they inevitably fail and get caught, we can lock them up as well.
That's a good point, but it better be as secure as you say this time.
Don't worry, we took the most lengthy of precautions. We have chunk bands, bat glitches, pearl glitches, and we even got our hands on indestructible end crystals. We had to compromise some of our morality.
It doesn't matter. I don't care. Do anything if it means containing him. Let's be honest, he never deserved a humane prison in the first place. And even less now, after what he did to Ray and his men. Remember what we're doing this for. Our morality couldn't be more in the right. But we're running out of options. And we're running out of time, Sven.
I won't let you down.
Let's get straight to the point. This is the best prison made so far. For solo escapes, this thing just can't be contested. Go ahead and argue that the most inescapable prison is Vault 36, Apollo's Vault, Guardian's Vault, Vault's Vault, or whatever other amateur prison that has been made since this accidental trend started. But in my book, none comes close to Gaia's Vault. This is the crowning moment of all prisons, the one that has been built up to for months. This prison was made by a team of 4 builders and built upon all the strengths of every prison before it and eliminated every flaw of everything previous. And it's so good that people actually think that it could be built in survival realistically. It is the pinnacle of maximum security, and for the past few weeks, I've been stumped. Every prison that I've escaped I've done solo. Not once have I had any outside help, unlike the other prison escapists. And when looking into this prison, I had the same mindset going into it. I need to escape this alone. But in this current version of the prison, V3, there has been 0 solo escapes from it at the time of recording. And that is simply because it's impossible. They may not have made the perfect prison from the outside, but from the inside, it is truly inescapable. Right? That's what everyone thinks, and at first I thought that that was the case as well. But the fact is that I need to escape this alone, because I have no one out there to help me. Every prison escapist has turned to the dark side, Shiratori. Even if I gave in and asked for someone to help me, there would be nobody to do it. Jerry Lum, the last remaining escapist other than me, helped build Gaia's Vault. Everyone is turning against me. Why? But none of that matters now. I think I have an escape plan. I have everything set up. It should be ready for when I inevitably get caught. Speaking of, I should get going. I'll see you in a bit. Took you long enough.
You don't talk. You're coming with us.
What if I don't come with you? What are you gonna do, kill me? I set my spawn at a bed 100,000 blocks away. You kill me, I'm gone for good.
I don't think so.
Hey, what?
Shut it, you are coming with us, or else your pretty little pet gets a sword through its head. Do you understand?
For those of you who somehow don't know what Gaia's Vault is by now, let me give you a brief refresher. Gaia's Vault is the third and most inescapable prison built by Sven. The prison stands at about 140 blocks tall, and it has a 22 by 22 chunk perimeter. It has the prison classics. The outer walls have water and lava, the interior of the prison is filled with obsidian, there's trapped portals and elder guardians, and the cell has a regenerating cobblestone wall, and there's water, yada yada yada, and so forth. We've seen this already. It's in the details where this prison succeeds. They have a working toggleable chunk ban system that will permanently ban anyone in the chunk until it is turned off, and there is also a suicide button that permanently chunk bans the entire prison. It really shows how far these guys are willing to go. And also, the bed respawn trap is new. It uses a glitch where the game thinks you're in a block when you respawn, so it teleports you up until there's sufficient room for you to spawn. This makes it very difficult to smuggle items in. The guards have composter glitches to x-ray through the walls of the prison and to see where you are at all times. There's also a lockdown system which turns off every chunk ban but the middle one, locks every door, turns off every portal, and makes an alarm sound. This lockdown can be triggered by the prisoner doing literally anything that does not align with the guard's handbook. And speaking of, there is an entire handbook that they wrote for this thing, going over every scenario and every protocol that should be taken in case of escape attempts. You can find this handbook on the Gaia's Vault website. They made a website for this prison? But the last and arguably most polarizing thing in this prison is the Indestructible End Crystals. Indestructible End Crystals can be obtained in survival by respawning the Ender Dragon and then moving the End Crystal away or killing the Ender Dragon in the brief few seconds that it's respawning. This alone would be extremely difficult to do, to just get one of these crystals in survival, and they're all placed absolutely perfectly in this prison that is completely encased in obsidian. A feat like this, in reality, would be improbable to the point of impossibility. But let's be real. The probability of this prison existing in a real survival world was already tarnished by it having thousands, if not millions of stacks of obsidian, thousands of observers, hoppers, pistons, and other redstone components, chests full of the most highly enchanted and rare items, and the thousands of sugarcane and cows needed to make the chunk ban books. And don't even get me started on the Elder Guardians. There are 168 perfectly timed name-tagged Elder Guardians that are crammed into specific 2x2 areas around the prison, which are spawned in with command blocks. And by the way, not only would it be nearly impossible to get these things into your prison, since you have no way of transporting them, they have natural thorns, laser eyes, and you'd probably have to carry them over thousands of blocks over land and sea just to get them into your prison, but there's also a chance that you might not even get close to the 168 Elder Guardians in your entire world. Since there's only 3 per monument, they don't respawn once killed, and monuments can only be spawned in deep ocean biomes no more than 32 chunks apart. But if you manage to travel millions of blocks to the farthest parts of your world to find 56 unique ocean monuments and brought back 168 Elder Guardians without dying from their natural thorns, laser eyes, other guardians in the monuments, underwater mobs, normal mobs, drowning, or your own stupidity, and manage to hoist them up into this massive prison and encase them in obsidian, and then name tag every single one of them, they would still never spawn into the world in perfectly timed 1-second increments. They would all eventually sync up and act like just one Elder Guardian, rendering everything useless. So are the Elder Guardians cheating? Pretty much. But I've escaped prisons that cheat before, and I can certainly do it again. For this prison, I had a few options in mind, particularly 2, but the more reasonable one would take a lot of math and time to get just right. It would take weeks, if not months, to engineer it, and I can't go that long without uploading. My subscribers will kill me, so I decided to go with the other option for this escape. I call it brute force. I'm going to smuggle in items. Not because it's the best method for the escape, not because it's the most efficient, but this is simply to spite Sven. And also, by this point, it's tradition. But even as secure, inescapable, and perfect as this prison may be, I can still take advantage of its own systems and turn them against it. They still haven't learned, and they've fallen
right into our hands. He was planning to get captured. We knew that much. But to make sure he didn't try any funny business, we got some leverage over him.
So he's on his way.
Yes, sir.
Now remember, if you try to escape, it dies.
Okay. This may seem pretty hopeless, but there's still a chance that I can clutch this. Even though the guards thought that they had the jump on me, they caught me exactly when I wanted them to. There are the least amount of guards online for this, and that's good. But to be honest, it would be pretty hard to get even the 3 guards and 1 warden on at any given time, since every guard seems to be in a different time zone, and believe me, arranging that sort of thing is nearly impossible. Almost everything went according to plan, but now they have Shiratori. I need to be extra careful. Inside the nether portal, I must wait for the guard to tell me to come back through. But inside the nether room is an ender chest, just what I needed. Inside my ender chest is the gray box. It's a shulker filled with everything I need to escape. I take it and an efficiency 5 netherite pickaxe and maybe some milk. Once I come through the portal, I go towards the first bed trap. And what I need to do is get my items through this place. Now what I could do is the same AFK gag that I pulled in the Titan's Vault escape and pretend that I'm away from my keyboard while I'm actually mining this top obsidian block. And sure, that might work. But there's too many variables, such as I will probably have gotten the mining fatigue effect by now, and with it, it takes 13 minutes to break obsidian. And in that time, if the guards wanted to check on me, they could just go into the composter machine and kind of see me mining. Plus, any guards could use the tunnel that leads into this room and check on me manually. And since Sven doesn't want too lucky of escapes, then I'm not going to use this. So for this, I'm going to pull out my secret weapon. I'm going to chunk ban the guards. You see, while the guards were so preoccupied about the inside of their prison, they neglected to have anyone outside. And what I did was attach a little device to the top of the prison in a specific chunk that chunk bans anyone inside these chunks. And all I did was connect a few hopper timers to this thing and boom, it can switch on whenever I want to. But for ease of use, I attached it to a death switch that would turn on once I died. This is like the simplest one. I could have used something with dogs, I just decided to use this because I'm lazy. And right before I got caught, I killed myself. I was completely bluffing about my bed, but it seemed to have no effect because they still have my bird. But Mythrodak, how did you get to that specific part of the prison? Aren't there outer chunk ban walls that would stop anyone from entering? Why yes, but what I used to bypass this incredible menace was I built up a bit, and then I right-clicked. And then to cover up my build, I just made it look like the rest of the prison. They wouldn't notice, even if they looked right at it. And this chunk ban works on them and not me, because the first decon hallway and the bed gate are separated by a chunk border, which means that they will be banned, and I will be the only one left. But Mythrodak, you can't possibly know which chunks the guards are going to be in at any given time. Well, normally, yes, but they conveniently wrote a book for me on where exactly they're supposed to be at every stage of the process. So anyways, it should take 15 minutes to get the chunk ban started, because I set the hopper clocks to 15 minutes, and once everyone is banned, I will break this top obsidian, throw my items into this little space of the enchantment table, and then place the obsidian back. It can also be faster with milk. Now you may be wondering, Mythrodak, how are you going to get yourself out of this one? Well, the answer is simple. Deception. Obama Man once said to me when the prison was first released that if you get out by manipulating the guards, I'ma be angry, grr. So that's exactly what I'm going to do. It's not even that hard. With a few minutes left until the chunk ban stops, I'm going to disconnect, and then as soon as all the other guards get online, I'm going to get on as well. Basically making them think that I got banned too, and in the voice call, I can be like, what the frick happened guys, I can't join your world, argh, while I'm breaking their bed trap, and they will most likely think it was a chunk ban malfunction or a server error. They can chunk ban me all they want when I'm back online, but eventually we're gonna have to get on with the entry process. And once I'm on the other side, I hotkey to my 4th slot and boom, I got the items past the first kill check. And if you think that the guards could hear me picking up the items and then trigger a lockdown, I'd say it's gonna be a bit difficult to hear this over this. Anyways, then I go through this 1-person door and up to the next bed trap. Then I do the exact same thing for the second bed trap. And this one is a lot easier because the second decon hallway and guard hallway are separated by a chunk like right on the block, so it's going to be pretty easy. I'm going to wait for them to open the door, and hopefully if I time the chunk ban just right, which I did, it will go off right then. But if not, then I can freeze it and pretend to be AFK again. Oop, my mom came into my room, BRB. And when they're chunk banned again, I break these 2 blocks, and maybe even this one if the door was closed when they all got chunk banned. And then I throw my shulker onto the last enchantment table. The reason I made it gray was so that it would be harder for the guards to see, because the guards have this little window where they can see the top of the enchantment table, but it's dark and there are big floating books in the way, and the items are practically inside the block above at all times anyways, so the chances of a guard noticing it are minuscule. Then I log off and then rejoin when everyone else does and act confused and frustrated. Hopefully the guards shouldn't be suspicious. Oh hey man, what did your mom want? I don't live with my mom. What? Then they'll kill me, and then I'll get to the last stage of the entry process. Now comes the part of the escape that I'm most nervous about. This has got to be perfect or else I may never see the light of day again. This is why I call this strategy brute force. Here's the situation. I'm on my way to the pit. There is a guard waiting for me, and the guard doors are closing behind me. And there's probably a guard in the room above me just to keep tabs on me. And if anything goes wrong, they can simply walk into this string and fall down immediately and try to stop me. Now I need to pull the stunt. On every prison that I've escaped so far, I have gone politely and smoothly. But this time I'm gonna go down kicking. But I'm gonna have to make them think that I'm doing something else than I actually am. The inside of these hallways have been specifically designed not to let you place any blocks whatsoever, and they make you as slow as possible. This is a hindrance, yes, but once again, the guards have created their own downfall. Along the way to the cell through this needlessly long hallway are random netherite doors that the guards must open for the prisoner to go through, and when they're open, they leave a space for blocks to be placed. I originally had another plan for this last part since I was alone in the hallway, but when I did a normal entry with the actual guards, they had Sven wait in the hallway for me, instead of waiting in the pit like the handbook says, which further proves my point that these guys don't know what the heck they're doing. So I'm just going to assume the worst here and assume that a guard came in and walked with me down the last tunnel. I'm actually going to kill the guard who accompanies me. Also, the guard always has to walk behind me because in 1.16 players' hitboxes kind of mess me up walking past him in the hallway, plus it's safer for the guards. But on the last door, I go through and then place the shulker in the gap between me and the guard. It doesn't really matter when you place the shulker, you could put it in front of you instead, and then, hopefully before he has time to react, I open my shulker and take out a Totem of Undying and 4 to 5 damage potions. This should be hopefully enough to kill a guard, even if they ate a god apple right before this. And then I chuck all the damage potions at the guard. Now this is actually pretty much suiciding yourself because you will most likely get hit by the blast radius, but that's why I got the Totems of Undying out. And when the guard is dead, all I do is take everything else out of the shulker and then instantly start breaking this sign. And then I place an obsidian block here. This blocks the guard from the top coming down to me, and it will actually suffocate them in their own trap if they try to go down. Then I break the next sign down and put water here and then swim under the obsidian to right here. Now I need to do a clutch. If I mess this up, it's going to waste a lot of valuable time. But right before I fall down, I flip down this trapdoor and then I flip it back up and stand on the side. Then I place obsidian at the visitor level of the pit, then I put obsidian up here and then break this sign and put obsidian here. Now the guards can't get to me from either side. And what I do is use the trapdoor to go into the east cell shaft. Then I drink milk and break the netherite block. Thankfully, I can pull this off in time, because the guards once again have created their own weaknesses. The Elder Guardians don't only give me mining fatigue every second, but they also give every guard mining fatigue every second, which means that it will take them just as long to break blocks as I take. And they will have to mine 2, if not 3 obsidian to get to me, and I can break 1 netherite block a lot faster than they can break 3. And no matter how many handbooks you write, and no matter how many orders that every guard memorizes, you simply cannot account for every possible action taken by the prisoner. And the guards will have no idea what to do because the specific situation isn't in the handbook. But Mythrodak, won't they just go up to the main control room and chunk ban you? I highly doubt that, because I'm in one of the center chunks, which means that they would have to activate the suicide button, which will ban everyone inside the prison forever. And I have a feeling that they will think twice about banning me and everyone else before I even get into the cell. And I also have a feeling that they don't want to ban me. They want me to rot in that cell for all of eternity. When I break the netherite block, I also break this piston and this target block. Then I pearl into this redstone vent and pearl to the other side. I break this redstone torch and pearl back. This deactivated the doors for this shaft. Then I pearl back into the tunnel and over here, where I drop, at the very least, pearls, but most likely pearls and god apples. But Mythrodak, in the quick reference handbook, it says that the guard would be in the cell observation tunnel for the cell. Even if they were monitoring the east cell, then they wouldn't be able to see me because the composter glitch here wasn't designed to look that way, and I'll be in and out too quickly before they can realize anything. But what if they saw the items you dropped? Well, items from above are pretty hard to see, and this cell is dark and shadowy, not to mention filled with water. But of course, I can just do this to a cell that doesn't have a guard watching over it. Then I pearl back into the redstone line, place the torch back, and once I'm out, I replace everything that I broke. and immediately I start mining the other shaft door. Once the guards get to me, they will find me breaking the west cell tunnel, and then they will most likely kill me, replace the blocks that I broke, and destroy the ones I placed. And then my plan goes into motion. They will most likely notice me breaking into the west cell, and they will probably put me in the exact opposite cell of the one that I wanted to go in. But the east cell is the one that I've been banking on this whole time. But I could really just place more obsidian and do this to every single cell just to be safe. Or I could even set up yet another chunk band timer and do this all when they're offline just to be safe. There's literally so many options for me to do, but I just throw them down. And once the guards have thoroughly killed me 100 times, chunk banned me, guilt tripped me, and spat in my cereal, then I finally go down to the actual pit, and here I need to get killed to get into the cell.
The blessing of life is that one day you'll die. And you, my friend, are cursed.
Good. I got all the items. Now I can finally rest. The guards are on high alert, and I'm probably being monitored by 3 pairs of eyes right now. But it's fine. I need to rest. I need to get my energy up for the next and last part of this escape plan. But is it worth it? Jerry Lum said that this was an eternal stalemate, that people would keep escaping this prison, and the prison builders would keep fixing the mistakes. It would go on forever. No matter if I escape this place, they're just going to release another update tomorrow. They always do. This has happened for every prison that I've escaped. A few days after I post my video, the prison builders release an update with mediocre fixes to the glaring problems that I took advantage of. This may seem like a smart move, but it's really just a pathetic attempt to salvage any reputation they had left after I thoroughly humiliated their prison, so that they can write in the comments section, "We have fixed this in the new update. Yeah, he escaped this version, but he couldn't escape the new version. How long will it take them to realize that I have been escaping the new versions? I have just escaped the new version of the new version of the new version of the inescapable prison, and yet they still think that if they change a few things or make a new prison that it will stop me. When will it end? It's just gonna keep on going forever, isn't it?" But there's where Jerry was wrong, because I only need to escape this prison once. It was never about beating the prison. It was about sending a message. Time has come. This is the point in the night where the guards are most sleepy from their long shift, and the least amount of them are online. I eat a god apple and then equip my pearls. Now I may not be able to break anything in this cell because of the indestructible end crystals, but I don't need to break anything. I'm afraid for the past few escapes I've been holding back. If I jump, crouch, and then pearl just at the right time, the game will think that I'm on top of a block, and since I'm crouching, then the game can't push me off of it. It's basically the glitch that I used to escape Titan's Vault. And if I jump and pearl, then I will slowly glitch all the way up to the top. And now here comes the part that's going to take a lot of hunger, which is why I brought the god apples. But I could just use the bread that the guards give me every day instead. If I can't break the walls, then there's only one thing that I can do. Phase through them. I quickly run to my ender chest or to the warden gear station to get fully stacked and ready for battle. I should be ready to face 3 or 4 guards. Realistically, I'd just click this bed and then kill myself to get outside of the prison. But I need to teach these guys a lesson. But where are the guards? But first things first. Where's Shirotori? They must have a bunker for him somewhere outside, but that means that I can get to him before they can, or before whoever is there gets orders to kill him. Maybe I should turn on some of these chunk bands before I go out. There should be an escape portal around here.
Just get back in your cell.
Well, now that you asked it nicely.
You have no idea what you're doing.
I know exactly what I'm doing.
You can't win. We'll patch everything that you did to get out. I can't let you get out. You'll never escape.
I'm escaping right now.
Is this it then? Is this what happens when an unstoppable force meets an immovable object? Oh, Mythrodak, you have no idea what you have just done.
What was he talking about? It doesn't matter. We need to get Shiratori before he does. I need to tamper with the keycard system to let the outside portal open. Now where's that escape portal? If I remember correctly, it should be around here. Aha. Something doesn't add up. There were a few things that were a bit too convenient. And where were all the guards? Sven never called them. It's almost as if they were anticipating my escape. Plumpkin?
We told you not to escape, Mythrodak.
How could you...
I'm sorry, but this is for the good of everyone in this world.
What do you...
You need to be contained forever. We know about your plans, and this is the only way to stop you.
What do you mean?
You've hurt so many people. It's time to hurt you back.
No, you don't touch him!
Kill it.
No! Stop!
I'm afraid that I must trap you in the one place you can never escape. Your own mind.
Goodbye, Mythrodak. Hey there, Myth. You never were much for talking, were you? You see that? That's the people. That's everyone who's willing to stand up and stop you. They are putting their lives at risk for the good of this world, and you're still so stubborn that you look the other way. You think you can just escape the inevitable, even when deep down you know there are hundreds of more prisons to put you in if you get out of here.
Are you real?
I mean, does it really matter? You're stuck in here for eternity, so you should be glad to see anyone. But it doesn't have to be like this. We will let you out of this place, if you just admit defeat and walk peacefully into the arms of captivity forever. Look, we're not monsters, Smith. We haven't tried to kill you, and this is the best option for everyone here. It doesn't have to be torture. You'll be well fed and taken care of. I'll always be right there to keep you company. I promise.
So you are real.
Yes. Plumpkin found a way to intercept people into the mind. It's kinda complicated, but I can't even prove that to you anyways. Look, I don't want it to end up like this, but you gave us no other choice. I'm not the most proud of what we did either, but some things were necessary.
Sven, when I get out, run.
I think it is time to talk to him.
It's so empty in here. Most people's minds are full of noise and confusion. But this is just hollow. Have you thought about our offer? Say something.
You killed my bird.
It was necessary. To put you into such a state you are in now, I needed to make you go through a severe emotional shock, such as losing someone you love. I can still sense that you're holding on to something. Anger, perhaps. But that will do you no good here. This may be your mind, but you aren't in control of it any longer. I am. Where you are right now is no longer yours to command.
Necessary.
Yes, anything is necessary when it comes to this. Back when you asked me why you were being imprisoned, I almost fell for it. But you know exactly why you're being restrained, don't you? Deep down, you've realized it. Maybe you've heard of it too. Fate. So don't play the victim game here, Mythrodak. Go ahead and cry me a river, but it is my job to protect this world and everyone in it. Without me keeping you here, the prophecy will come true and the gruesome fate will come upon those that me and you both love.
That bird was the last thing I loved. It was the last thing I had.
You really can't let go of your pride, can you? You lost, Mythrodak. Accept it. And if you can't, then you're just going to be here, with nothing but your past to keep you company. I'm growing weary of protecting you. And if you persist any longer, don't forget that I am the guardian of this world. The only way the prophecy won't come true is if you stay captive or if you are taken to your grave. And you know it too. Let me assure you that I will take the life of one to spare the lives of millions. And you know I will. So don't make me. Here. Before I go, I'm going to leave you a reminder of what happens when you tangle with me. Goodbye.
Hello. My name is Mythrodak, and I am your worst nightmare. I am prepared to kill absolutely everyone in Minecraft. Everyone from the smallest noob to the biggest names in the game. Dream, Bad Boy Halo, Skeppy, Exnestorio, Tapple, Wisp, J-Schlatt, Purpled, Technoblade. I'm going to kill them all. Each one of them shall fall at my hands. I don't know how, but I'll find out a way. Of course, I can't kill everyone, looking like a slob, looking like an absolute normie. That's why I come dressed in my finest gentleman's clothing. My father always told me, when you end a life, be polite. It didn't really rhyme completely, but you know what I was trying to say. So I have my tuxedo here with a clock on the back, representing your time has come, or I'll never go away. I have these little shoes right here. Can you see my shoes? And I have this orange rose. It was supposed to be orange. It looks more gold, but it's supposed to be orange. I have my top hat, my mask, because death has no face, and I am here to make sure that your day goes terribly. If I come across you in Minecraft, my one goal is to try to make it so that you're having the worst time of your life. PvP speaking, of course. I've got to be gentlemanly. I don't want to be rude to my clients. Tommy in it and Captain Sparkles? I don't know. Does he even play Minecraft anymore? But I'm going to save Technoblade for last. Technoblade is a great inspiration of mine. He's the one who got me into Minecraft in the first place. He's the one who inspired me. I hold great respect for that man, but I am not afraid to challenge him in a PvP duel that we shall have. And I'm going to fight and kill absolutely everyone that I come in contact with. I will search them down. I will make sure they know that there is a new Minecraft champion. I'm going to be the best Minecrafter that has ever walked the face of this earth. And all you can do is watch. All you can do is sit behind your screen.
You cannot help any of your favorite YouTubers. When their health bar drops below 0, you can see the red end card of the game.
You will not be able to do anything but watch.